What is up, guys? Welcome to the Hangout. My name is BJ Kicks. I'm your host. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. And this is the Hangout. This is the show that we do every single week, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. What's that? 6 p.m. Central? What was that? 4 p.m. Pacific time? We're here. We're here. So tonight's episode of the Hangout is going to be a little bit shorter. It's been a madhouse. It's been a week. It's been a very interesting week. Lots of crazy stuff going on. Nothing I can really talk about as of right now, but all exciting things. But they've definitely got me behind schedule. So first of all, tonight is a truncated show. I like that word, truncated. What's up, Greenville, North Carolina? I've got some family out in Greenville. I haven't been to Greenville in a minute. 252. But anyway, so yeah, tonight's going to be a truncated show. I'm going to be doing some comic book reviews. I'm going to be doing less comic book reviews than I wanted to. Looks like I got 4 books here that I'm going to review. There were like 6, 7 books that I was going to try to read, but ended up not getting to a few of those. And then at 8 p.m., I'm actually going to be on Javon Stokes' podcast, which is called A Stoked Podcast on his YouTube channel, Visually Stoked Media. I'm going to be a part of a roundtable discussion talking about entrepreneurship within the comic book community. Don't know how I got drafted into this conversation, but it should be a fun one. So yeah, we do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching on the replay, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and say what's up to the people in the chat. Bunkmaster B got here just in time. Afro Sci-Fi is in London, and it's almost midnight there. Nice. My brother's moving to Paris in like 2 weeks, which is not London, but still. Jerry's here. What's up, Jerry? Jerry is the Marvel or the Mighty Marvel Masterworks queen. She buys them all. And I'm waiting for her to review them. Kevin Carr's here. What's up? What's up? Tim's here. What's up, Tim? How's it going, sir? Let's see. Jerry says she just read Giant Size X-Men from 1975 on Marvel Unlimited. What'd you think of it? First appearance of a whole lot of mutants. Wolverine's first appearance on the X-Men team. Got Storm in there. Colossus in there. Definitely a dope issue. I read that as part of the Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 omnibus that I am this close to being finished with and reviewing it. But yeah, so that it's a fun issue. Giant Size X-Men, like I read it and yeah, like it's it's not Claremont, it's Len Wein. It's a little bit like over narrated, but it's really good. I thought it was a great introduction to all those characters. Let's see. Bunkmaster V. Why would the dude with 1 million affiliate links and sponsor partners be on an entrepreneur podcast? It's funny. That's funny. Okay. All right. I concede your point. Jerry loved it. Jerry loved Giant Size X-Men #1. So yeah, speaking of Marvel Unlimited, digital comics are still all the rage for me right now. Although I am surrounded by physical books. Like I said, it's been an insane week. And tonight's Thursday, and it's not going to get less insane, which means it's not going to get more sane. There's no relief in sight. So tomorrow night, we're going to see a play. So usually my Friday nights is when I catch up on like cleaning and reading and stuff. That's not going to happen. This Saturday, I don't remember what we got going on this Saturday, but it's something. I think Sunday might be the first day I get to rest. Think it's the first day I get to rest. Monkmaster B says, we got some low energy kicks tonight. Someone needs to grab that root beer. Dog, it's not even low energy. It's like I feel so disheveled. There, and like I said, I can't really talk about it, but there's some stuff that happened this week that just kind of completely interrupted life. Um, I guess that's really the best way to put that. So yeah, I have been trying to like maintain some semblance of normal. I slept for like 3 hours last night in different shifts. I don't feel tired, but I definitely don't feel like my full self either. Um, I'm ready to get. A person that kind of thrives on routine, which is why I did not cancel the hangout tonight, because it's like I got to do my thing that I do all the time. Um, but yeah, speaking of things that I do all the time, I got to give a huge shout out to Ultimate Comics for sponsoring the Hangout. Ultimate Comics is my LCS, and you know that because I tell you that every single week during my pull list video. But Ultimate Comics, they've got all sorts of exclusives that you can buy on their website, such as this one. This is the last one that I bought. It's an exclusive variant for Hulk issue number 4. Donnie Cates and Ryan Otley's Hulk number 4, but this is the Arthur Adams homage variant homaging Hulk 181. I'm a sucker for Hulk 181 homage covers. So you can grab that cover. You can grab all sorts of exclusives at ultimatecomics.com or just follow the link. It's the first link in the description below, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that's what's going on. Thanks again to Ultimate Comics for sponsoring the Hangout. What have you guys read so far this week? Let's see. Rupert doesn't pick up his pull list till Friday. I was able to pick up mine yesterday. I'm excited about that. I just love going to the shop on a Wednesday. It's always great. Like you might have, for whatever reason, I have a pull list. I make a video every week called What I'm Getting. And still every week there is some book that comes out that I forgot was coming out, didn't know about, end up buying, or somebody else at the shop is like, yo, this one's going to be good. You should check it out. And so I buy it. This week, that issue was Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, number 3. Spoiler alert, I bought this because there's a first appearance in it. I don't even have issue 2. I have issue 1, and now I have issue 3 because there's a first appearance in it. I also bought this variant cover for Black Panther issue 4. I have the A cover, which is this one right here. This is a great issue, by the way. I'm going to review it in a second. But I liked the way this B cover looked as well. And I'm not sure why, but the 1 in 25 variant for Black Panther number 4 is going for like some crazy money for whatever reason. Comics with Your Average Joe says, what's good? Are you watching the Batman this weekend? I wish. I still haven't seen No Way Home. I do want to see Batman or The Batman soon. But we'll see. We'll see what's in the cards. I have a feeling I'm going to see The Batman before I see No Way Home. See if I can get a babysitter going. I'm missing some books, which means I put my pile somewhere. Now here's the other thing, right? The diamond shipment, the last few weeks, the diamond shipment to Ultimate Comics has been like, I don't know, non-existent. They had it was late. They hadn't been delivering it. And with that, I swear I'm missing comics. What is going on? Am I missing them? Did I put them somewhere? Doesn't make sense. They would all be here. But anyway, so I got a bunch of books that I wasn't getting otherwise. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? 125. This is a month old book. And then this is 126. These are supposed to be out, or I was supposed to have these weeks ago, but I just got them yesterday. Excellence issue 12. This is the B cover. That just came yesterday. Primordial number 6. Just got that yesterday. King Spawn 7. I think that's only like 2 weeks old. I just got that yesterday. I ended up with 2 issues of The Walking Dead Deluxe, 33 and 34. And then these are all the normal books from this week. Justice League, Batman, Spidey, and Detective Comics. Gotta love that variant cover. Sweet. But I swear I'm missing the A covers for my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I'm wondering if I misplaced them or if they got swapped out. Because I know that a lot of times what I do is if I get a B cover, then I'm like, yo, I don't need the A cover. I just want the B. So I'm wondering if my A covers got taken out of the stack. But I thought I remembered bringing them home. So anyway, I have to figure that out soon. And yeah, so that's what I picked up and didn't read. Yo, you hit a deer, dog? Sheesh. I almost hit a deer yesterday. I was driving to my in-laws' house, which they live in the same neighborhood as us. And it was dark. It was like 11 p.m. And yeah, 2 deer. But it was crazy. It was crazy. I didn't hit anybody, but it was close. But yeah, hopefully everything's all good. Hopefully you don't have any issues with like your insurance. And I hate car accidents and claims and waiting for the insurance adjuster and then waiting for the check. And then the check comes and it's like so tempting to just keep the check as opposed to like paying for the repairs. But then you walk around with a non-repaired car and you're like, hey, what happened to that guy? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But yeah, hopefully everything's all good, as Bunkmaster B just said. Jonathan Brooks, have you read the Weapon X The Draft series? I think it's an older series. No, let's see. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to search for it on Marvel Unlimited and see if it comes up. Weapon X The Draft. From 2002. Am I tripping or is there only one issue? Weapon X The Draft Kane. Oh, there's a bunch of them. There's Wild Child, Agent Zero, Morrow, Sauron, and Kane. The answer is no. The answer is no. I have not read these. But I wonder which one you're supposed to read first. Or does it matter? So I'll just pull this on the... So this is the Wild Child issue. Wild Child and Aurora. Written by Mac Nixon, with pencils by Ethan Van Sciver, inks by Norm Rapmund, hi-fi design on colors. Interesting. No, have not read this. I'll have to check it out. Tim Sharon, no broken bones and no whiplash. Well, that's good. That's a win. I'll take it. Let's see. And this is so informal. We're just hanging out. I feel you, C-Rook. Yeah. So the hangout today is so informal, so not structured. Let me do this. How about I just sprinkle some comic book reviews in, like, as I can, or like just throughout. Maybe that'll be a more fun way to do this. So let's do this. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're going to get started with the first book I read this week, which was Static Season 1, issue number 6. I also have the B cover in my hand. Don't know where my A cover is. I wonder if they got swapped out because they're not in my stack right here. But I could have put them in a different stack. But anyway, Static Season 1, Issue 6. Without spoiling anything, last issue we got teased a few villains or metahumans from the animated series. We saw Puff. We saw, I forgot the bird chick's name. But we saw her. We saw D-Rec. Or Destruct, excuse me. We saw a lot of the villains from the Static Shock animated series in issue 5, excuse me, not 4. In issue 5, we saw them teased. And so it was gearing up for a big battle in issue 6. And that big battle, it definitely delivered. The artwork, amazing. Like Nick Draper Ivy on this artwork was super dope. I'm very glad he got to kind of execute his full vision as opposed to working over layouts for those last 2 issues. The story was good. Like, I enjoyed the story, the way it wrapped up. There were definitely a couple of moments where it felt like Virgil was just like preaching, but it wasn't bad to me. I enjoyed it. There were just a couple of points where it was like, this kind of could have been sprinkled throughout the issue and not like a wall of text right here. I think now that the series is wrapped, first of all, the last 3 pages, the way this series ends, if you don't already know, the last page, they reveal that there's going to be a Static Season 2, and that's coming this summer. Hopefully there's no delays. I'm very excited for Static Season 2. Same creative team as far as I understand. Vita Ayala is going to be writing. Nick Draper Ivy's doing the art as well. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, there was definitely some dope stuff going on there. But yeah, that last tease, dang, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm so excited about who they're bringing back for season 2, and the way that ended was just awesome. So Static Season 1, issue 6, probably give it an 8. It's probably an 8 for me. And I love that I got to read that digitally. So reading on my iPad was fun. Thank you, Tim, for reminding me of everybody's name. So we got Puff, Talon, Shiv, Onyx, and Destruct. Yes. Super dope. Super dope. Bunkmaster B just picked up the Milestone Compendium. He's trying to read the original Milestone before jumping into the Return series. So all you've got to do is I think the first 4 issues of Static, the original Static series, are really all you need to get a good feel for who the character is. And I think if you wanted to move on to the Milestone Returns title after that, like you'd be totally good. Like you get a good distillation for who the character is. And then honestly, it's probably the same for all the characters. Like, you don't need to read all 45 issues of Static or, all the issues of any of the original series to enjoy the Milestone Return series. It's basically, a full reboot. And in many ways, the stories are the same. Like, we call it's a reboot. And yeah, there are some things that are kind of retconned, but it's not so different that it's like you're reading 2 different books. There's definitely like different sensibilities, different styles. Okay, I'll backtrack, because Icon and Rocket, in my opinion, is a very different book in the original stuff than it is in the Milestone Returns line. Some of the basic character dynamics are the same, like the way they interact with each other, but I think you get a better version of it in the original. I think if you had to be, if the question was what would you read to understand who these characters are and what they meant, I would read the original Icon, um, as opposed to reading Icon and Rocket season one. But Icon and Rocket season one is still dope. Rupert says, spoil it, go for it. I don't want to do that to people because, I know people haven't picked up their pull list. I know you know, everybody is not everybody is not picking up their pull list on Wednesday like I do. And even though I pick up my pull list on Wednesday, it's not super often that I read all of my books by Wednesday. So, yeah. What's the difference between Milestone Returns and the New 52? The New 52 static series, how do I put this? It's not good. Hey, we're being honest, right? The New 52 static series was, you had John Rosen and who else? It was John Rosen co-writing it with someone else. And that someone else basically kind of took over the book along with the editors. Like, this book is just not, it's not what Milestone was. It doesn't really, this was, hey, here's a cool character we saw in a cartoon. Let's make a book about him. Right? Like, that's what, in my opinion, this Static Shock series for the New 52 was. First of all, Virgil's not in Dakota. He's in New York City. He's still wisecracking. I do like the costume design, but overall, it's missing that charm, and this series just gets super wonky. Like, they make some very very weird decisions over the course of these 8 issues. It is cool to see some of these Milestone characters come back, like when Hardware's in here, Rocket's in here at some points. So, like, it's cool to see, but it's just, I didn't need this. If you're gonna be reading Milestone for the first time, I wouldn't start with this. That's not to say that you can't read this after you've read some of the other stuff and kind of see why it's so different. You might find things that are funny about it or fun about it, but yeah, man. Yeah. Is DMZ in the new Milestone continuity? He was my favorite. So far, he has not shown up in any books, but Blood Syndicate's coming back in May. So it's possible. It's possible that he makes an appearance. Let's see. Let's pull it up, because I don't remember if he's in the promo images. Yeah, the new cover doesn't have DMZ on it. We got Fade and Tech Nine, and Wise Son and Holocaust on this cover. But on this old school variant, there's DMZ right there. But this is crisscross homaging the original cover. So, I mean, everybody that was on the original covers here. I don't know if DMZ is going to make an appearance in the book or not. I would hope so, though. I would hope so. By the way, Jeffrey Thorne commented on the last episode of the Hangout, because some of y'all had smoke for Jeffrey Thorne, saying he didn't like Kyle Rayner, and he was like, I never said I didn't like Kyle Rayner. He did not deny any hatred for Hal Jordan, though. So if Hal's your man, Jeffrey Thorne might not be your man, but hey, Jon Stewart's my favorite Lantern, so I have no skin in that game, no dog in that fight, as they say. But yeah, Static Season 1, number 6, great book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I am very excited for Season 2. That's that on that. And Kevin says, oh, okay, remember you mentioned in a previous video, just wondered. Yeah, I said do not read the New 52 series because we pretend it didn't happen. It's just, yeah, when you read the original Static series and then you read that, it's just like this has none of the charm, none of the magic that the original series had. And quite frankly, it doesn't feel like the people who were on the book understood who the character was. John Rosen went on to like disown any involvement or renounce any involvement with that book. He basically said, like, look, editorial took over this book. I don't even like the fact that my name is on it. So yeah, Static, New 52, I just kind of ignore. What else did I read this week? Let's get to this one. This was probably my favorite book that I've read so far this week. Black Panther #4 is it. Black Panther by John Ridley with Juan Cabal on art. Funny, like in some of the earlier issues, I was like, Juan Cabal is not really impressing me with his artwork. But in this issue, it was better. I really like the storytelling. There are a few fight scenes there, and I love the way the fight scenes are laid out. I guess I'll go back and kind of give you a brief synopsis. So, as we know from the last few issues, basically T'Challa has like had like this whole sleeper cell, like kind of crew of assassins or agents or whatever in Wakanda, and whatever he did with them, we don't know what the secret is yet. But whatever he did is coming back to bite him, because a lot of those sleeper agents are being tracked down and murdered, right? So in this issue, or in the last issue, T'Challa had gone to Mars or Araco to hang out with Storm and then get some intel from someone. And he comes back to Earth in this issue. Shuri gets attacked, and it's on and popping from there. I'll stop talking because I really will spoil the whole issue without realizing I spoiled the whole issue. But yeah, in this issue, T'Challa suspects that there's a traitor among the ranks, and so it's very interesting seeing that play out. And the fight scenes were awesome. The conflict that's brewing has been awesome. It's just a really good book. Like, I was not super high on John Ridley because I wasn't a big fan of the I Am Batman series or the next Batman series and the next Batman Second Son. But ever since issue 3 of I Am Batman, and from the very beginning of this Black Panther with issue 1, it's been really good storytelling. So keep it up, John Ridley. He's telling 2 great stories so far. Who would I want to write Black Panther? Funny story. John Ridley's Black Panther is pretty much my first ongoing Black Panther. I've read some of Coates' run. I've read a good portion of Priest's run. I've not read Reggie Hudlin's run. But so far, I'm enjoying John Ridley's run. It's reminding me a lot of like, there's a lot of like secret agent type stuff. There's like some government conspiracy stuff brewing. It doesn't feel as epic or as grand as the beginning of Coates' run felt to me when I was reading it, but I like it. Like, it's really good. It's like a thriller. It's like a spy thriller is how it feels. And I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with Black Panther. So far, this is my favorite book of the week, which would give it a 9 out of 10 rating. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you, sir. Kevin just picked up that Black Panther. It is tight. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So Black Panther definitely gets the seal of approval this week. One of my favorites. Who would I like to write Static? So overall, like there's 2 things about Static that I really love. I love Static's like wisecracking and like just him being funny, right? And in that respect, like I like someone like a Tom Taylor or a Matthew Rosenberg. Like, they write funny and witty banter well. I like that a lot. But there's also an aspect of Static that's like very much grounded and rooted in family, and very much grounded and rooted in like the Black family experience, right? Like there's a scene in the original Static series where it's Static's mother like screaming at everybody in the house for them to get up to go to church on Sunday morning, right? Like that's like a very Black mom thing to do. And so in that regard, I not to say a white person couldn't write Static, clearly not saying that, but I'd like to see, someone who is familiar with, the culture in that way, or kind of has an intimate knowledge of the culture in that way. And I don't really have any names in mind. I love Brandon Thomas on Hardware. Um, I think he could do well on Static as well, but it's definitely a different style than what I've seen from Brandon Thomas in the past. So I'll get back to you on that. But those were just off the top of my head. Those were the names I had. Afro Sci-Fi would love to see Jonathan Hickman get a chance to write Black Panther. David List's Black Panther is underrated. Word. So with Jonathan Hickman, he make like I've read. I guess to be fair, all I've read from Hickman is his X-Men, but I am just not ready for Black Panther to have all these maps and charts and here's the like. Just give me like some action. I mean, it's weird to say like it's weird saying that knowing how the Coats run kind of went, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm always down. I like Jonathan Hickman's X-Men, so see it. Rupert says, "What was that milestone omnibus you just got? I'm interested in getting it. This was the." I got the Milestone Compendium. The Milestone Compendium, technically, well, I mean, not technically. I mean, it clearly is. It's a trade paperback. So it collects as many issues as an omnibus. Honestly, this collects a lot of stuff. It's 1,380 pages. But I mean, you got basically the first year of Milestone Comics, right? So all of the stuff that they put out in 1993, plus some of the Shadow War, which came out in 94, and some issues of Zombie that also came out in 94. So if you're looking to get into the original Milestone stuff, this is the easiest and most cost-effective way to do it. And hopefully they continue these. We would need 4 of these books to complete all of Milestone, or the original Milestone. But Bugmaster B, yeah, if you are looking for the Milestone Compendium, of course, you can grab it at organic priced books. You can save $2 on that order and every order just using the code BJKicks at checkout. But there you go. Collects Blood Syndicate 1 through 12, Hardware 1 through 12, Icon 1 through 10, Static 1 through 8, Zombie 0 through 11, and Shadow Cabinet number 0. The only thing that doesn't exactly fit in there is Zombie. Like Zombie came later, but it's cool that he's in there. It's cool that you get him in the first volume. Off subject a little, can you recommend to me any early Court of Owl reads? The only Court of Owls story that I read was the Court of Owls, which was the first 6 issues of Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo's Batman run. That's where they make their first appearance. There was no Court of Owls before that. And I'm not sure if they've made like any sort of resurgence. I know that, well, I won't spoil anything. There is a connection to the Court of Owls with Dick Grayson. And I know they explore that in the Nightwing series. But as far as, earlier in the timeline or earlier in continuity Court of Owls stories, I don't know that there are any. That was kind of the whole charm of the Court of Owls, was that they apparently existed for all this time in Gotham, and Batman just never knew or didn't believe it was true. But yeah, thanks for that alley-oop, Bunkmaster B. All right, so I got like 20 minutes left before I have to jump off and jump on to a Stoked podcast. So let's talk about another issue that I really enjoyed, and that being, I guess I should have gone to this page first. Another issue I really enjoyed was X-Men #9. So, written by Jerry Dugan, artwork by C.F. Villa or Villa. Is it Charles Villa? Carlos Villa. Carlos Villa. You know what's interesting to me? All of the X-Men art looks the same. Like whether it's Pepe Larraz or RB Silva, it's like it doesn't matter. Every X book has like such similar art style that it's like you could just you could put any artist's name on it and I would believe it. Okay, maybe not Pepe Larraz on this one. But it's the coloring, I think. The coloring really kind of brings it all together. I don't know if I like that about it or if I'm annoyed by it. I like being able to tell art apart from each other, but I also like the consistency in this line. So I'm contradicting myself. I don't know. But anyway, the biggest thing from this issue is that when I was reading it, it just feels like Hickman never left. So much is being explored from the plot lines that, had kind of been opened. So much is continued straight from Inferno. I'm excited because watching different or listening to different podcast interviews, Hickman basically said, like, look, we planned the next, 2-3 years of X-Men stories all together. And these writers are just going to execute it. Right. And reading the X-Men, it feels like it. It doesn't feel like it's a starting over point. It doesn't feel like, it also doesn't feel like it's super loaded down. Like you could definitely pick up just Jerry Dugan's X-Men and maybe House of X, and you kind of get what's happening. But this is very much a continuation. But anyway, you get the return of Nimrod, which it's always cool to see Nimrod. There's a war brewing between the mutants, the humans, and the machines, and it takes a whole turn in this issue. Everybody's got to decide how they are going to respond to each other and to the prospect of war. So, yeah, that's exciting. This issue was exciting, and I gave it an 8.5. 8.5 out of 10. Also, Gambit and Rogue make an appearance in this issue. I won't say why. Wait, did I give this 8.5 out of 10? I think I gave it an 8. Thumbing back through it. Yeah, I give it an 8. I like it. Ultimate Power says it helps with the immersion overall. He likes it. Yeah, the art styles being so similar in all the books. I agree. It's not jarring reading one X book to the next. Let's see. Jared Martinez, City of Owls is a follow-up to Court of Owls is volume 2 of Scott Snyder's run. Yeah, that's true. And then what else did I read this week? I think we're down to the last book that I actually read, which I won't say disappointed me, but it wasn't like the glowing review that I always give this book, right? Like every week that this book comes out, it's my pick of the week. Dark Knights of Steel, I'm talking about, right? Dark Knights of Steel, written by Tom Taylor, art by Yasmin Putri. And it's not that this book was bad. It's just, this is the part where it feels like it's a mini series and we're just in the middle of the story. There wasn't like some like dramatic twist. Well, there was, but it felt like the natural progression of the story. I will say Tom Taylor always does a good job of kind of wrapping up your wrapping up his issue, making you want more. But this did just kind of feel like, let's just move these characters along. We got a big appearance or a lot of interaction between Harley and Poison Ivy, which was cool. Very cool scene involving Diana as well. Um, there was an event that happened in an earlier issue that is now being disputed in this issue. That's interesting. I'm curious to see where that's going to go. And dang, now that I'm thinking about it, this issue does end with a bang. Like it ends with something that I won't spoil, but if you remember the revelation that was made earlier in this series about Bruce Wayne, just things don't go the way I expect them to go when other people find out. I'll leave it at that. Um, and there are some characters that we see that I'm like, what? Like, so I'm definitely excited going into issue 6, but just something about this didn't feel as high stakes or high energy, even though it still had those peaks. It had peaks, but it was something about it that just didn't feel as exciting as issues 1 through 4. By the way, if you are reading Dark Knights of Steel, or if you haven't read Dark Knights of Steel, they did do like a big compilation issue this week, and it collects issues 1, 2, and 3 in a floppy, in a single issue, basically. So just an oversized, still stapled down the middle book. So if you want to catch up, that's a great way to catch up. Yeah, I agree, Kevin. I did not expect the end of this issue. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Like the more I think about it, the more I'm going through the story. Like it was exciting. Like it definitely was. I don't think it's taken the pick of the week spot away from Black Panther so far, but I'll probably reread everything because I can't lie. I read all the books that I did read this week. I read in like the 40 or so minutes right before I went live on the stream. So I'll let them sit. I'll read them a couple more times. And if my reviews change, I'll tell you about them in the Discord and in the Facebook group. How about that? Tim says every comic can't all be winners. This one wasn't a loser. But like, I was saying like every issue of this series had been like a 10 out of 10 candidate or 9 out of 10 at least. This is probably my first 8, right? I wouldn't go as low as a 7.5, but it's probably my first 8, which is a pretty good comic book. My grading scale is so crazy. But yeah, so Dark Knights of Steel was the last book that I've read so far this week, and I enjoyed it. So what else did I buy this week that I haven't read yet? I'm 2 issues behind on Amazing Spider-Man. I'm 1 issue behind on Batman, so I got to read that later. I gave up on Detective Comics, and I'm buying them for the covers. Oh, so this one, Monkey Prince #2. This is what I was reading right when I went live. So I'm only about halfway through this issue, but I'm really enjoying this series. So if you didn't read Monkey Prince #1, Monkey Prince #1 is on DC Universe Infinite. So you can read it digitally if you have that subscription. So that's exciting. I thought that because issue #1 was on DC Universe Infinite, that they would load issue #2 in there and stuff. And because of that, I didn't buy an A cover of this. I bought a B cover. But then it turns out they didn't put issue 2 on DC Infinite. And so I ended up reading it physically, of course. But I don't know if I want to spoil the end of issue 1. Yo, you trucking nerd. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. I know you had computer issues and stuff. Hopefully everything is taken care of. But yeah. Monkey Prince is so good. It's so good. I only read half of issue 1, but I really enjoyed it. Issue 2. I read all of issue 1. Um, to get into what's so fun about issue 2, I'd have to spoil issue 1. And I know people haven't read it. Um, Trucking Nerd is making a return to YouTube on Sunday, doing a live stream with Nerdette's newsstand about the Batman movie. Dope. Not sure if it's spoiler free though. I haven't read it. I haven't watched the Batman movie yet. I don't think well. My sister-in-law is coming to town. I honestly might have a babysitter. I might be able to swing it, like maybe Sunday or something. But anyway, Monkey Prince is really good. I can't say anything about issue 2 because it's going to ruin issue 1. But it's really, really good. It's really good. It's a fun book. I was telling somebody in the Facebook group, this book kind of occupies the same sort of space as Super Sons for me, where it's like we're getting familiar characters like Batman and Damian Wayne are here, but we're getting something new. We're getting new aspects, and it's very fun. And I love fun comic books. I'm a sucker for good old wholesome family fun. You know what I'm saying? And this is a book that maybe minus the last page, issue 1, I'd read with all my kids, you know? It's fun. It's fun. It's really good. Buy it. Like, go buy it. Off topic question. Where'd you get your X-Men and Justice League comic book boxes? I get all of my comic boxes from Ultimate Comics Raleigh. Comic boxes, it's my understanding that they have to be ordered, or it's difficult to ship them. It's difficult to ship comic boxes. It's expensive to ship comic boxes. So if you don't have an LCS, you're going to be hard pressed to find them. But if we go to bcwsupplies.com, right, they have comic book boxes. It's not going to be Justice League, but they do have art boxes. They got Transformers. If you're into My Little Pony, if you want Jay and Silent Bob, I do like this Walking Dead and this Power Rangers box. Looks like they got some new designs. I don't remember seeing this Vampirella before. And they got like 2 other variants for the Walking Dead. And this is just like some random zombies. So you can get these from bcwsupplies.com. I like the Bloodshot box too. And if you use the coupon code BJKicks, I believe you will save 10% on your purchase at BCW Supplies. So that's comic book boxes, bags and boards, all sorts of stuff. And what I will say about bags and boards is you got to be quick. Like if you see them, order them. Look at these back order dates. The current bags and boards won't be in stock until May. Resealable current bags and boards, okay, maybe a week and a half. That's not terrible. But there's stuff that's back ordered all the way up until August of 2022, and we're only in March, and we just got in March like 2 days ago. So if you see supplies available, buy them because supply chain issues are insane. Kevin says, I love Monkey Prince's perspective on Batman. I agree. I love what they did with the first issue. Like, Monkey Prince has a fear of Batman, and it is totally rational. It's totally rational. But if I'm being honest with you, Monkey Prince sold me because Marcus is a sneakerhead. Marcus had the Dornbecker threes. Somebody drew the Dornbecker threes. Bernard Chang drew the Dornbecker threes. And I was like, yo, the Dornbecker threes are in a comic book. The only issue I had with it was that he called the Dornbecker threes vintage Air Jordan threes. And that was not a vintage model. That's a very modern version of the Air Jordan 3, which I guess the Air Jordan 3 is a vintage silhouette. What's up, Nick? How's it going, sir? Let's see. Off topic question. What's the best kind of sandwich? I am partial to the club sub at Jersey Mike's. Um, or a club sub anywhere, honestly. Give me, you know, cold cuts with bacon, mayonnaise, lettuce. Every now and then I might do a tomato. I don't like how tomatoes make my sandwich soggy if I don't eat it fast enough. But yeah, I'm doing that, or I'm doing a Philly cheesesteak, or I'm doing like the buffalo chicken sandwich. So those are my favorites. Burnt cheeseburgers are Shannon's favorite sandwich. He does fried onions and sauteed mushrooms. Feel you that? Feel that? Any word on when they're reprinting Uncanny X-Men Volume 3? All of the Uncanny X-Men Omnis have already been reprinted, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull it up real quick. We'll go to prhcomics.com. I only got a few more minutes here. But let me wait for this to load. I hate when websites don't load the way as quickly as I want them. So, Uncanny X-Men. Search for that. And can I filter it? That's dumb. So let's just search. So Omnibus Volume 4, they reprinted that in January. I'm pretty sure Volume 3 got reprinted first. So yeah, Volume 3 came back out on January 11th. That's the standard market cover. The direct market cover came back on January 5th. So chances are that direct market cover is already gone. You can check organic price books. I don't know that they have it. Let me look. All right. Actually, no, it's sold out. Organic price books is sold out of Uncanny X-Men Volume 3, the DM variant. And let's look at Volume 3, the standard cover. So yeah, the standard cover is still available at organicpricebooks.com. So you can check that out. I don't know if it's going to show this in the comments because it's a link and YouTube's weird about links. So you can check that out. Burnt cheeseburgers was a joke because you set off your fire alarm for the live stream. You're not going to let me live that one down. It was a great cheeseburger, though. It was such a great cheeseburger. So yeah, Nick, grab that standard cover. You might be able to get somebody to print out a custom dust jacket for you if you just wanted the direct market variant. Let's see. Oh, we are running out of time. So, what I feel like I had an announcement to make. So, what's coming up on the channel? I'll tell you that. So, I got a few unboxing videos. I don't know if you can even see, but that's a box right there I got to open. And there's some other boxes behind me. So, we're going to have back-to-back unboxing videos tomorrow and Saturday. Of course, Sunday, you're going to see what I'm getting, my weekly pull list video. And finally, we're going to get the Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 Omnibus review. That's coming, should be next Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, but that's coming. So that's what's on the roadmap for the channel. Barring any life changes, which there are some life changes in the works, maybe. What's coming up on Comics Are Dope? I've got some interviews in the works, and those will be on Comics Are Dope. I wish I had more information to give you about that, or I wish I could tell you when, but I'm still in the scheduling phase of those interviews. Other than that, every Sunday you'll see a list of the new comic books coming out this week. And periodically I'll send an email when there's like something cool coming out that I can tell you about. Have I jumped on Whatnot yet? Bunkmaster B put you guys all up to these questions, didn't you? But no, I haven't jumped on Whatnot yet. It'll probably be a little while. I'm being honest with you. I wish I could tell you guys what's going on, but life just got incredibly busy in the last like 7 days. So I'm kind of in a holding pattern, doing like what I can, but there might be some shifts moving forward. And if things shift like I'm thinking they might, then of course I'll make announcements and you'll all know what's going on then. But anyway, I say all that to say the Whatnot sale. Here's what I'm trying to do. I got a few goals that have to take place before the Whatnot sale. The first thing is there's some shelves I need to buy to put on my wall to display some books. And then I can organize a lot of the books that I've gotten in the last 3 months that are like kind of sitting under my desk. I'm trying to clean my room and do a room tour. And when I do that, I will have, as part of getting the room ready to display. Oh, look, there's another bot guy. But as part of getting the room ready to display, I will be organizing all of my back issues, like all of my single issues. And it's through that process that I'm going to be finding what's going to go on Whatnot. So there are going to be 2 sales. There's going to be one sale where I'm just, I might just throw up 10 books or 10 lots just to test out the platform, see how things are going. That'll kind of be a very nimble thing. You might see a community post, and I'll post in like the Discord and stuff about that. And then once that goes off without a hitch, then I will actually schedule a sale. And there will be like at least 3 weeks notice when I decide I'm going to do a sale. So it's coming. It's coming. Hopefully by end of this month, but I can't even make that promise to you guys because my daughter's birthday is in 2 weeks. That's crazy. But yeah, Squeak will be a year old on the 20th. So there's a lot. There's a lot happening this month, combined with stuff I can't talk about, but we'll see. We'll see where it all falls. Tim is sticking to milestone books, got to stay under budget. I will have some milestone books for sale in that Whatnot auction. That's a definite fact. But look, I have to go. Now, if you guys still want to see me streaming, I will be on the Visually Stoked podcast or on the Visually Stoked Media YouTube channel for the Stoked podcast. We're talking about entrepreneurship in comics, and it's a roundtable discussion. It's me and quite a few other people. So I left the link to that in the description of this one. So that's getting started in just about 60 seconds. I can't believe she's almost a year either. That's insane. She had physical therapy this morning. She's doing great. Was that? That was yesterday because today's Thursday. But anyway, things are going great. We're going to hang out again soon. As a matter of fact, it'll be the same time next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be on our normal schedule because an hour is just not enough. Once again, thank you to Ultimate Comics for sponsoring this video. You can go to ultimatecomics.com to get exclusive variant covers and all sorts of other goodies. And I will see you guys in another hangout very soon. Peace.